everyone. Coach Greg here with another episode of Living Empowered. I'm here with my new friend, super great woman. You're going to love the show, Michelle Endo. Hi, Michelle. I'm so good to have you. Honored to have her on with us. She's an amazing woman in our series of amazing women to help inspire you to live an amazing life. So we're going to jump right in today. Now, I had the benefit of sitting down for coffee with Michelle before, so I know all about her. And I thought, what a great story. A lot of you guys are thinking about, I want to be in a business, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I'm a mom, but I do the other school things. How do I do it all? That's usually the biggest question. So let's learn a little bit about you. We're going to learn a little bit about Michelle. She's going to tell you how she does it all. And I'm not going to give away what she does yet, but it's pretty cool. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Coach Greg. Thank you for having me.
Of course. It's my honor to have you. So tell us about you. What do you do now? What are the few things that you do now? And then what else is special about you now?
He's looking at my belly. I'm baby number 4. I'll start off there. This is my 4th. I've got middle schoolers in elementary school and doing it all over again. So I'm ready for it. I'm super excited. So I would say that's my biggest role, fulfilling role is being a mom. So
awesome.
I know a lot of people can relate.
Mm-hmm.
But like we chit-chatted before, how do you balance it all?
Yes.
Speaking of balance, I stopped looking for balance.
You stopped looking for balance.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's a good angle because most people are
like
how do I do it? It's frustrating. And when you're imbalanced, I know, okay, I'm not a mom, but I got the dad thing going because I'm a homework guy. I got my own things. And then half the time I'm cooking dinner. I'm like, but yeah, the balance, when you're off balance,
I just look for harmony.
Feel lousy. There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder why you do that because maybe it's part of your.
Probably because we're both
Libras. We're looking for the balance.
Looking for a balance.
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, I put more weight on this side and then this side and then this side and then this side. And it's never ending.
It is.
So as long as I find harmony and peace and things, then it kind of works full circle.
Perfect. So, I love that though. I'm not looking for the balance. Most people are in such a quest for that they lose track of everything
Totally.
else.
And that was like my go for years to look for, okay, I put too much weight on this side, so I got to compensate and put more weight on this side. And then it was just more and more and more and more. And so
gotcha.
Harmony.
Well, now on the other side of your harmony balance, what do you do for a living?
So I'm in hospitality. I'm honored to own a couple of restaurants here in Orange County. I'm born and raised in Orange County entire life.
Well, take a plug. What are your restaurant names and where are they?
First one's Good Choice Sushi in Laguna Niguel. My father started that one in 1996. And then from there kind of branched out. We have Good Choice Sushi by the Sea in Dana Point, Angote in Costa Mesa. And then recently, my most recent project is a retail market. My first partnered project with other business owners. And it's a good harmonious, piece of art, I would say.
Yep.
For that one. So that one also is in Laguna Niguel, Mucho Mucho. Created a brand with potential to grow. So we're in a market space right now, but we can use that branding to expand to restaurants, catering, you name it. Hopefully we become a nationwide brand one day.
Okay. What's your main product to go nationwide then?
So just the branding. And then, we have franchise opportunities. Not sure about owning another business.
Okay.
To be honest.
Wow. Okay.
But I love the excitement of creating something, watching it grow. Even though I'm terrible at gardening.
Okay.
The concept of, seed, water, nurture, and then growing and expanding.
Which funny is the same for your business.
Yes.
But conceptually, right.
Correct.
Yeah, gardening's a whole different thing. Okay. Very good.
So. Okay.
Now you said your father started it. So a lot of people are a little misconceived about, family-owned business. Somebody starts it and you walk right in.
Second generation.
Yes, and you're like rolling in it. You know how to do everything, and you're just making money. That's like my favorite thing. Hey, it's a write-off. Like, you have to make money before you go buy something and write it off. It doesn't work that way. Misconception. So knowing your story a little bit. So how did your dad do it differently for you that made you so good?
So growing up in the restaurant industry, I never really stepped foot to like, hey, Dad, I'll help out. Hey, Mom, I'll help you. This and that. So I was studying something else. I was studying just business administration, working at doctor's offices and engineering offices. And one day I woke up and I thought, well, Dad, I want to take over your business. Look at me, hotshot 19, 20-year-old.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, well, that's cute.
Right. That's nice to hear.
How are you going to do that? And I was like, I don't know. Is it like willing to be that part, the most important part? And he's like, well, yeah, it's good that you're excited about it, but who says I'm going to just hand you my business that I started from scratch? You know, my parents immigrated here from Japan. As soon as they got married, started a family, lived in Hawaii for a little bit, moved to LA. Like I said, born and raised in Huntington Beach. Okay. So he said, well, okay, you know, are you willing to, you're really serious about this? And I said, yeah, I am. Thinking like, oh, here's one signature and here's Michelle's new business owner. So he had me work the ins and outs of the restaurant, including being a dishwasher, waiting tables, learning how to chef, cleaning the bathrooms. So I was opening the doors for our opening staff to come in and then closing the doors.
Good. Okay.
For many, many years. Yep. And he says, show me you can save $50,000. Like $50,000? That's how many zeros are there?
That's a lot of zeros, Dad, or you're 19 years old, even still. Yeah. So
I was like, all right, well, I guess to earn that $50,000, I just got to work and save my paychecks. Yeah. That's what I did. Said, Dad, hey, I saved $50,000. He's like, oh, okay, great. So now we're going to take your $50,000 and we're going to go to the bank and get you a business loan. Okay. So that's how I got started in the business. It wasn't just handed over, but you know, the zeros that looked endless was little by little, baby steps achievable, and from there, worked. You know, we're a one-stop shop as far as for myself, because I'm the marketing, I'm the advertising, I'm the waitress, I'm the chef, I'm the janitor. So I'm kind of a, you know, small businesses I'm learning along the way is something special. It's like everything you see in a corporate structure is all in one. Yep. So. Oh, don't we know that? Yes, for sure. A lot of the things I've learned, you know, business admin at school doesn't apply. Like I mentioned before, I was like, I wish I had my old textbooks to see if it like, you know, what they say is really true in a small business. So. It's the textbook. I thought that when I went and got the MBA, I took an entrepreneur class. The professor was a super cool guy, super nice guy, liked him. Except he was a 30-year banker. Like 30-year banker doesn't necessarily equate to entrepreneur unless you've started a business. And it was textbook, and already have had a business of my own. Just like you talked about, although I'm reading this textbook, I'm like, there is so much missing. They give you like little bits of nuts and bolts, but they're missing the really big stuff. A lot of things you're only going to learn by doing this. So interesting with the textbooks. So a lot of you know my concepts and strategies, and this is really just trial and error. Yeah, it really what it comes down to. Yeah, because you don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You don't know until you try. So right. Yeah. Even with I'm in a fitness group of entrepreneurs. These guys all own businesses, but they say it is trial and error. That's what works in their market doesn't work in our market. Totally. Well, or over there, but conceptually, but like we talked about the nurturing, seeding, planting, watering, all of that's the same. So if you've got those principles, good, but then you got to figure out what works. So yeah, my style of business here is different than like the local gym down the street. Right, and your business model is different from my business model. Totally. So yeah, we got to do the same, and the customer service and the relations, and that's the part. So are you, now that you have all these places, are you staying at one? Do you bounce around, and are you still wearing all those hats at all those places? Yes, no, and no, and yes. Okay. I had to limit myself, which is the hardest thing for me to do, and delegate. So growing from one location to 2 to 3 to 4. Yeah. And here I am like, okay, where's the next one? We're always scouting for different locations for different concepts. Right. And so the interesting part was, the most interesting for me especially, was for me to put a stop to myself. I'm like, no, Michelle, give it a minute. Let's see if someone on the team can handle it. Because I'm just hands-on, I'll dive right in. I'll be like, you know, and any business owner I talk to who can relate would say, you know, oh, it's just much easier to do it yourself. Yeah. But sometimes you got to take the long way to get to the, you know, not the finish line, but just accomplishing that task. That's a fast way to burn out as well. So delegating was really hard for me. Yes. All you budding entrepreneurs, take that to heat. So ladies who start a business, yes, you absolutely are capable, but keep that in mind. Don't try to do it all yourself. And I'm not sure if that comes with age. You know, I was in my early 20s when I started. I'm reaching my late 30s now, and it's like, well, it's fine. It's like, having kids and you're just
Yeah.
like with your first one, you're like, oh my gosh, is he or she okay? And then by the
Yeah.
second one, you're like, oh, 5-second rule, 10-second rule.
It's like, are you
So-
bleeding? Nope, you're good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Bones sticking out? You're
No,
good.
bleeding? Nope, you're good.
Rub some dirt off it. Let's run and let's go.
So I was learning myself to, be choosy. And I think that's also a blessing in disguise.
Mhm.
And as I get older, I know where my priorities lie. So I've served my, business community where my businesses are, Chamber of Commerce, local booster clubs, schools, fundraisers, to be well known in that area, but where my business is. Now I don't live where my businesses are, only because I live closer to my parents. Right around the transition of the ownership for the first location, Laguna Niguel, my dad had a stroke.
Oh.
So he was kind of forced to make an exit. He's alive and well, living his best life overseas right now.
Good for him.
But
Good for
I
him.
think it was a wake up call for him.
Sure.
And then it was also a wake up call for our family to be like, you know what, your health is most important. He worked day in, day out. And I asked him, I was like, Dad, growing up, you worked every day. Like you never had, unless we took a vacation, but pre-planned, 3 or 4 quarters in the year before. It wasn't like, oh, every Sunday we did this because Dad's off. It was family day. And he goes, well, if I'm off, we spent money. He's like, my goal was to save as much as I can, to open a business, to have that free time to spend with my family. Now that got shortened because of the stroke. So now it's like, well, you work so hard. And if, it just.
Don't wait. The moral of that story is the don't wait part. I was at a nonprofit event this week, and one of the companies showed a video. They were interviewing these little kids. It's like, what did you say? What did you say to your parents about the business and these things and the advice that you would give to your parents? And one little kid said that. They said, stop counting the money and hang out with us. Like they something to the effect of that, or the money doesn't matter. To them, the money doesn't matter. I that's hard for me too. My son threw something. He's 14 and had to do something out of me the other day. He goes, yeah. So my wife said something, and he said, yeah, you're really hard on yourself. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, your business and stuff. So it's there's always more and more and more, and then but so this weekend he's like, yeah, let's play wiffle ball. We're outside playing one-on-one wiffle ball, which is a ton of fun. That's his favorite thing. So I make sure now I stop. Whatever I'm doing, I'm stopping. Okay, let's go play. And
you always want those antennas out to catch yourself. Because you get so caught up in.
You have to. Because you think, I have to get this next thing and the next thing. And for all you entrepreneurs, again, the budding ones, there's always going to be something else. It's never going to stop. This weekend, I was wandering around the house and I was like, you look lost. Like there was stuff I needed, but I couldn't put it together in my head. And that's when you got to shut it off. Just stop and just go do something else. But it's not going to come to you at that point.
No.
So let it go. It's going to be there tomorrow.
It will be, absolutely.
Yeah, but the moments that go away don't come back.
Totally.
The moment you don't spend with somebody else doing something else, the quality time. I do a lot of speaking with kids, and I tell them this. I said, when you're sitting down one-on-one with somebody, and you're not looking at your phone, not texting, but you're having that time, that is a gift. It's a gift because it's something you cannot get back. You can get money, you can get stuff, but you don't get your time back. So if you give that gift to somebody, you spend time one-on-one, eye to eye, it is indeed. So you are gifting me right now, which I totally appreciate, but it's a gift. I think we actually talked about that when we were having coffee.
We did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's just taking that time to spend with somebody. And it's such a lost thing now because everybody's just, put it away. Yep. It's not going to go anywhere unless you have an emergency. They'll call you twice, but yeah, so be present. Be present with the people around you.
And presence doesn't have to mean quantity.
Oh, for sure.
It's quality is what really counts. And so I always tell my kids too, and growing up, my kids, to a middle school, elementary school, like I mentioned before, but they know I'm a working mom, but I also want to raise, nice human beings, not coddle them like kids for their entire lives. I'm like, one day you're going to go out and do your thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's following my footsteps or, getting a corporate job or doing whatever. Sky's the limit, but.
It is. Totally agree. That's awesome.
So.
We're so aligned on that. What would you share as, you're a female business owner of multiple businesses and all the chambers and things. You're a community leader. What is one of the bigger challenges that you faced during that? You came in as a young business owner now. Do people treat you different? It's like you're not your father. We're used to him. Now you're the daughter. You get the same respect. Did you have to earn it? What's something you can share enlighten. What's your story on that?
Definitely had to earn it.
Mhm.
We're mixing a little bit of Japanese culture amongst the American culture.
Yes.
So that is two different ball games that
Japanese
we're playing.
culture.
But I learned
pretty
that,
tough.
That's something for everybody. Everyone has to earn respect. So it's not anything given to you.
Mhm.
So diving into the community, I thought, what am I doing for my own kids in my own community?
Mhm.
So I kind of, I don't want to say scaled back, but I also have expanded to my own community.
Sure.
PTA board member, classroom mom,
Yep.
just where I can.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful that my job, with the 4 stores and this and that allows me to. So I always like to share, if anyone could do it, if I could do it, anyone could do it. We all have 24 hours. And if you're squeezing in 15 minutes to read to the kindergarten class, or if you're, working a 4-hour shift, it's possible. Be clear in your communication. But as far as earning the respect and this and that, the transition was more difficult than opening up a brand new store. So I've done both, a transition plus open up a new store, work with people 3 times my age back then. Now I have people half my age on my staff.
Ooh, yeah.
But it's both ways, and it's you're able to learn from any age, any generation, any demographic, and backgrounds with culture. It's really exciting for me. One day I'd like to sit at the airport and just watch and people's not verbal communication and how they act and how they talk to people. It's really interesting to me. So that ties when I was little, I always said I wanted to be a teacher. So something about that willingness to share, empower, and lead these people. It's really interesting, whether it's a 16-year-old hostess that juggling school, soccer, and work, their first job, to people navigating parenthood, to trying to invest in a business. I love watching people grow and growing alongside them.
Yes.
I hope they can learn from me as much as I learn from them.
No, that's awesome. So I see you doing that, though. That must be part of our Libra-ness too. I never thought I would be a teacher. Someone told me that many, many years ago. Oh, you're a teacher. I'm like, no, I'm a finance guy in the car business. I was on the corporate side of the car business. No, I'm in finance. I do this. I have a business degree. No, I do this. Transitioning, and later in life, all of a sudden, what do? I speak to kids. I teach kids. I mentor. The fitness thing is all about coaching. I'm not a trainer. I'm a coach. I educate. I motivate. So it happens. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a whole different person. I had to change my LinkedIn profile from corporate guy to guy that I am now, which the guy that I am now is teaching and helping and growing, which is amazing. Like you said, it's amazing. The privilege of going to Valley High School. And I was these kids wanted to do one-on-ones with me. I offered it up. I thought we were going to be doing resume building and interviews and things like that. This turned into life conversations. Oh, you know what? I'm really embarrassed. I don't know how to talk to my friends. I can't talk to this person. Oh, my parents, this. I'm like, ooh, I didn't see this coming, but I just took the breath and went, okay, put the dad, the coach hat on and get this kid through this situation to be stronger coming out. And it was amazing to watch them just kind of change. And again, month after month, they start changing, doing different things. It's so rewarding. So in the same sense you're talking about, helping people
grow.
Maybe that you grow and learn and be the business person. That'll be you. You'll have a dozen franchise stores or something, and you're going to be, I hope, teaching class, because you have to teach all those people how to do their stores, right? Yeah. So that'll be you, probably.
One day,
or write the book. So tell me, write the book. You never know. But I like what you said earlier, because you mentioned the PTA. You were kind of right by the PTA, but adding a PTA and adding being in the class. Like, wait a minute, 4 stores, bomb, PTA. But you said earlier, quality time. Reading, you just show up once in a while.
Yeah.
And that matters. 15 minutes to read, and your kids, bye everybody. But that was cool. It's like, hey, my mom was here. That's awesome. You didn't need to be there all day. They don't want you there all day, first of all. So anybody who thinks that, oh, your kid wants to see you all the time, they don't. Walk us. Right now, I've been speaking at my son's school. I don't bother him. I respect his space. His buddies are like, yeah, and he's just kind of, I kind of walk by the lunch table. I just nod and keep walking, but the nod is enough. That's it.
Yep.
That's okay with us. A quick nod and keep walking. It's the acknowledgement, but get to do what you do and just be there, though. He knows, no, he was here. That's okay. That wasn't with him. It was doing something else, but still, dad's here, quick nod, and keep walking, which is good. So that's part of your non-balanced balance.
Correct. Yep.
It's just the quality.
Absolutely.
So that's a great nugget. I always challenge people at any show, any speaking thing they do, take something away. Take something away from this conversation. She's been dropping tips and tidbits at you the whole time. So hopefully you're listening, because these have been great. But that's a super great one. Just show up for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Make a little time. Yeah, not all the time.
Quality
just once
time.
in a while.
Yep.
That is awesome. That's good. So you see yourself doing what now? First, we'll finish cooking.
Yes.
And then, can we ask boy, girl? Do we know?
Girl.
Okay.
Yes.
So the
I'm now
balance.
3 girls and 1 boy.
Oh, mercy. How old is the boy?
He's 12.
Okay.
Entering the teenage.
Awesome. Okay.
So, really exciting. He was
Awesome.
a little bummed that it was a girl. And he's like, wait a second. I don't need to share any of my stuff. So he's like, all right, cool.
You're 12. By the time your sharing comes, you're going to be moving on anyway.
But it's really exciting for me because my first 2 are really close. And then I had a 5-year gap there. And now I have a 7-year gap. So just to see them all at different stages of their lives, it's like,
yes.
And I think the best compliment I recently received was my own mom, who is local. She helps out tremendously. She's retired now. So she's,
oh, that's nice.
Gets to help with pickup and driving them to all their extracurriculars. But she's like, it really looks like you're enjoying motherhood.
Wow.
And I was like, I do? And she's like, yeah. So I was like, well, thanks. And that's also some priceless, compliment. And so
for sure. Well, I got that from you right when you got here.
Oh.
We talked about the baby. And you're like, oh yeah, you're just so casual with the whole thing. Like you said, it's not the first one. There's no panic. There's no panic. You know what to do. There's no handbook, but still the experience of something. It's like the next story. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's more enjoyable than getting the first one. He's like, okay, I kind of got this now. And then, so every time I've seen you so far, you're kind of in that cruise chill mode, but you're getting so much stuff handled and done and grown and success.
And all my 4 stores, even just the 3 sushi restaurants, they're all different concepts, different menus. People are like, you're crazy. Why don't you just find something that works and just duplicate. And I was like, I don't know. It's like each kid, they all have their own flavors.
Right.
And so I'm like, why not? It's definitely a spin on my day-to-day because it's like this store and that store and that store. It's not just like take one and apply it to all.
Right.
But it keeps life exciting.
That's going to be part of your Libra too, the creativity part. Like, that's boring. When I'm writing workouts, I don't have one workout. You go check my workout board out. There's 3 totally different things that you're like, oh my gosh. So yes, this flavor, this flavor, this flavor. Then I change it up when I need to. But it's the creative brain of it can't be the same thing.
And back to that, it's like, I have in my mind, a to-do list of my wants and needs, and you have to go through that needs list to get to the wants list. Yeah. So it's kind of a challenge for me to get through that needs list. So I like gear into my creative side to get through my wants list. Yes, for sure.
Speaking of that stuff, do you every day go kind of like do your top 3 priorities for the next day sort of thing, or do you employ any of those tactics?
I wish I had a tactic on that. Maybe I'll find a little bit more harmony in my life. But for me, it's like crank out as much as I can. I'll be like, oh, I have 10 minutes before I have a pickup or 10 minutes before I have to get on to a different meeting or something. So I kind of challenge myself, what can I get done in 10 minutes?
Okay. That for me, that's usually my posting time. Post.
I do a lot of posts. I manage all over social media. I do it usually when I'm waiting for a kid to come out in the loop for a school pickup.
Yep. Okay.
So, it's 10 minutes here that I could be scrolling and just getting ads in my phone. I could be using productively and, planting something for the future. So
that's another key is success comes from not scrolling and getting lost in that rabbit hole of social media. Like if I didn't have a business, I wouldn't be on it. My friends know where to reach me.
Yeah, totally.
Call me if you need me. Text me if you need me. I don't like the rabbit hole. To me, it's a waste of time. For me, it is. But that's my own personal. I'm probably different than everybody else. But I see too many people get stuck and lost and just waste so much time. I'd rather be outside doing something, whether it's playing or even working or whatever. I just don't go down the rabbit hole. I get, hey, did you see this text? I sent you something. Yeah, let me go look for that. Oh, hang on. Like, oh, look, there it is. No, I didn't go look. If you need something, text me. But there's so many other things.
My daughter actually set up our Alexa to tell me who texted. So if I know if it's, something I need to attend to. Yeah. So I'm always reachable 24/7 by phone, by text. I try to stay off emails, but only in designated times, like
Right,
working
good.
hours.
Yep.
But same with phone and text too. So it tells me. So if it's like, okay, if my mom texts me, I know to get to it right away.
Yeah.
And it's if one of my kids texts me, I know to get it right away. But I'm not constantly looking at my phone and checking my phone to see like what's the new happening thing, because you can get sucked down that rabbit hole and get lost.
Yeah. So when I text you and it's like 4 days later, I know where I stand on the list. I'll get to him when I get to him. I'm just totally teasing. That's excellent bit of tidbit. So what's next for you then? Besides video, I started to ask you that, and we got sidetracked, of course. So after baby's coming in a few months, and what's the next site for you? What do you see?
Oh, that's a tough question. Sky's kind of the limit. We've always, I don't know. It's I seem to always have a plan, and it never falls into place. And so it's kind of like, right? Michelle, why do I even have a plan?
Right.
But we're always scouting new locations.
Okay.
I'm involved from the very beginning as far as like lease negotiations to like space layout, design, colors, branding,
all the creativity
everything.
stuff again, right? Yeah,
and so
for sure.
Kind of if it falls into place, we like run with it. But you know, I mean, mucho, we want to expand in a little restaurant space. Sushi, I'm not sure. It's kind of fading out for like sushi chefs in training, and it's kind of been taken over by robots. And
we went to one of those. I'm like there's a
so
robot thing.
It's definitely an acquired skill.
Yeah.
You know, and so I learned sushi 20 years ago from my dad. I still use my sashimi knife that I started with. I always share that in my sushi classes. So I'm not sure. I'm really open to, I don't know, am I supposed to not opening any more stores, stay and, you know, raise my kids and just continue doing what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Who knows? And
some days that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's some inspiration for somebody like you, some inspiration is going to go, and you just got to go run with it.
Yeah.
Well, let's back up a little bit. Tell us about your sushi class. Because, I want to go. I want to do a sushi class. My son's running around here somewhere. I told him, I said, come chat in your house. She's the sushi person. He said, oh.
So sushi class.
Yes, sushi class. What's sushi
class? 7, 8 years ago I started. I'm again filling a need. A customer said, "Hey, I want to do private sushi at home. Can you come and not just make us sushi, but can you show us how to make sushi?" And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like fun. I want to be the one learning to do something."
Yeah.
So I come to you, bring you the whole setup. It's a fun hands-on workshop because you get to eat as you go and ask questions, and we teach you some tricks that we use behind the bar. Getting through the rush.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of exciting. They're like, "Oh, do you do it like this or do you do it like that?" We get a lot of questions, so they're really exciting. Kids, adults, couples, corporate events. I come to you, share a little bit about sushi, teach you how to make sushi, and we get to enjoy. We added in a little competition at the end just to make sure you're paying attention.
Right. Okay. Good. That's fun. Our group, we're gonna make that happen, and our group will be competitive. So it will turn out that way. That. It will be competitive. How many people do you like in a group?
We can do anything small from 10 up to 30.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to give back to booster clubs. We would work with a lot of fundraising booster clubs to, fill a class. Portion of it goes back to the school or the booster club. We also do like dine-ins at the restaurant too, but just any way to give back. That's also something. Cool. Maybe that's a different show. I found my purpose on giving back really fills my cup. So
doesn't it? That's where we. Well, I'm going to have it for the nonprofit. So my nonprofit is Empowered Youth Lifestyle, empowering the youth with skills they don't learn in home and school anymore, including character. But for that, that's what I want to do for that, because I know a lot of people will come in, and I know a lot of.
And it's fun.
That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a totally fun thing. We may end up like cutting the list off. We're maybe doing more than one, and especially for a good cause too. So that'll be great. So you have that available. What is your social media? We'll post it up when we post the show, but go ahead and please tell us your social media.
I have social media, just Facebook and Instagram for Good Choice Sushi. So GC Sushi.
GC Sushi. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
GC
Sushi. It's tongue twister.
Yeah.
Mucho Market.
Okay.
It's so good. You have to say it twice. No.
Nice.
Mucho Catering.
Okay.
And then Angote Sushi.
Okay.
So I will make sure it's tagged in there.
Yes.
Give us a follow. Like I said, they're all 3 different stores, all 4 different stores, all different types of flair. So
okay.
So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so if you were giving advice, say you've got some young female entrepreneurs here, teenagers that want to be aspiring to who knows what, what's like the top one or two things that you would tell them? Maybe we've covered it, maybe we haven't.
I would say ask questions. Ask questions. The worst you can get is no. If somebody doesn't want to answer it, it's their loss, not yours.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gotten me as far as I've gotten. If I don't know the answer, I'm like, shoot, should I sit there back in the day when we didn't have Google to just look it up?
Right.
I'm like, who can I ask that I can get a good answer?
Yeah.
So, it's sharing is caring. And I think anybody, I like to surround myself with people who don't mind getting questions asked and be happy to help and share.
Oh, I love that.
So I would say ask questions. Ask all the questions.
All the questions.
All of them.
There aren't any dumb ones. There's no dumb questions. Really, there aren't. I'm speaking to, I'm like, this is a safe zone. Throw stuff out there.
Yeah.
Learn to do that. And the people that make fun of someone that asks a question are usually the people that wish they asked the same question and didn't, so they're trying to feel better for not asking the question.
Yeah.
So go with, as confusing as that was to say, I went back, got the MBA, and I found out that I still sit in the back of the class. I was still like, wait a minute. I'm like, no, stop me. You're not in school anymore, afraid to ask the questions. And using your same philosophy, we started asking the questions. After a while, they're like looking at me like, oh, I need to ask another question. Apparently the class is like looking at me like, I'm going to ask like you guys ask the question. Totally agree with that. I'm trying to teach my son that. Ask. So again, we're on the same page. That's awesome.
And a lot of times you ask the question thinking like, I'm kind of iffy about the answer, And so if somebody else gives that answer, it kind of validates like your reasoning. And so you're able to like move forward and move past those things.
Yeah.
So
and if there's good people, good quality people, successful people are generally very sharing with their information. They're not afraid to lose anything.
Totally.
So people that don't want to tell you something, a little sketchy, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to somebody
I tell
else.
my staff all the time, I said, you're not going to be working here until you retire. And so even if they're with me for a couple of years and they learned something and they look back years back and saying like, you know what, I learned that at, with Michelle, I learned this.
Yes.
Then that.
Oh, that's a good feeling. What's really cool is you've probably taught more people more than you even know. More than you can even imagine. I learned that a while ago. So I go do my thing and I walk away when I'm speaking to school. I don't know what they learned. But later, somebody will come back and say something. Or even years later, they'll go, oh, hey, Coach, you remember we talked about that? I am doing that now. I'm like, dang, all right, good for you. I'm like, all right, you took something with you. No, that's awesome. Anything else that you wanted to add? This has been a lot of fun. You're very inspiring.
Thank you.
And I got to go back to the don't be on the quest for balance. I'm going to take that point away with me today. So I learned from you today. See,
and I went the hard way. So if you take that and you're like, I'm going to look for harmony, then peace and harmony might come sooner than me taking a long way.
Yes.
And just try to balance.
Yeah, because there's always a plate spinning in the air somewhere.
And that's also something I learned from a mentor as well. She was like, Michelle, when I first met you, you were kicking that stroller, trying to calm down that baby while you're trying to like type out a message over here while your phone's ringing over here or this and that. So I was like, me? That was me? I'm supposed to like be cool, calm, and collective, but that's me. She's like,
that is you now, actually.
So
for sure, you now. So awesome. So great to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing everybody with the story.
Thank you for joining us.
We will definitely put all of her information. Connect with her if you're interested in the sushi party or the restaurants. Again, we'll make sure all the locations are up there. You can find you on social media.
Yeah.
Because we're definitely going.
Or how to handle my day to day. Be happy to share.
Yes, there you go. Ladies, here's your mentor right here. Another great one. So thank you guys so much for spending the time with us. Without you, there's no us on the show. So we appreciate you guys all being there. So hang on too. I think we're going to maybe go in the kitchen and make a snack with Coach in a little bit. So we'll see what we're cooking up. So until next time, keep living in power. Hey everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Coach. Today we're jumping on to the bandwagon. I'm not usually a bandwagon guy, but this one's really cool. This is the mason jar salad bandwagon. We're jumping on this one because I get a lot of people that ask me about salads. Are they good? Are they not good? What's the best way to pack them? You can't really do it and make it not soggy even a couple of days. and really staying on track with your food and your eating is being prepared. Usually it's a hard way to make a salad ahead of time. You always have to assemble and scramble if you're running late for work. The kids are running crazy. You're like, I don't have time, whatever it is. This is a great way to have it pre-packed, ready to go. You can keep these, they say, I haven't checked it yet, 3, 4, 5 days because it's sealed and condensed and everything's not getting soggy. You can keep these for a few days ahead of time. So you are pre-packed, ready to go. Again, no more excuses. I went and had fast food because I didn't have any good food, or I went to this restaurant and had this 2,000 calorie salad. Check the restaurant, by the way. There's a restaurant, I'm not going to call them out, but if you look at the burger page that shows the calories and you look at the salad page that shows the calories, some of the salads have more calories than the burger page. You wouldn't think that was true, but that's what we call a salad bomb, because the salad's not always about everything's salad healthy, salad not healthy a lot of times, because when you get too much, we're going to put some ingredients in here that are a little on the yummy, delicious, questionable side, but too much of the creamy dressing, extra cheese, croutons, bacons, all of that stuff without the vegetables and things as fillers, you now have a salad bomb. That thing will get up to 2,000 calories in a hurry. And as you probably know, that's too many calories for most people in a day. And you're hitting it in one sitting. That's the worst part, because as if you've ever been out with one of my discussions, you're going to only process what you eat at that moment. The rest of it you store. You're going to store it here or back here, but you're going to take it with you. So when you're eating, think about that. If I overeat this whole meal, how much of it am I taking with me on the go? Because it's going to stick with you. Okay, anyways, on to the mason jar salads. These the ideas came from Pinterest. I put a little different spin on them. This stuff, again, is always to taste. Whatever you want for taste, whatever tastes good for you. If you don't like a particular ingredient, say you don't like onions, sub it out for something else. A little extra, put some artichokes in, put a little extra mushrooms in. But it's always what you like for taste. So we're going to start with a 32-ounce mason jar. You can get these at the convenience store, the red and white circle store. We won't say their name, but you can do that. We're going to make 2 of them for you today. First one we're going to make is the spinach. I'm going to refer over here because I've got to go in the right order. Part of this is about the order in which you put the things in the jar. If you put them in the wrong order, you're going to end up with a pretty soggy salad. So the trick with this is you're going to put the dressing in the bottom, because that way it stays away from the vegetables at the top. That doesn't get them all yucky. So first one we're going to go with is the spinach salad. Now you can make your own spinach dressing, which again is time consuming, not time saving. We're going for all these things as time saving, convenient recipes for you. Excuse me while I shake this up real quick. These are all time saving, money saving, super delicious recipes for you. So we're going to go on the premise of that. Now, dressing is always a to taste thing. So we're going to go with a couple of tablespoons. I'm going to use poppy seed for this one. We're making the spinach salad, I think I mentioned. Whoa, hello. And that's how you end up with too much dressing on your salad right there. It blurps out. If you're dumping it on your salad, it blurps out, hits your salad. You go, oh, well, I'm just going to eat it anyways. That's what most people end up doing, and they eat way too much dressing, and a lot of times that's where the calories come from, are the heavy dressings. Now I'm going to put a little in here because there's a lot stuck on my spoon. Now you go for just a couple of tablespoons on this, ought to do it. Again, if you want a little bit more later when you mix it all up, you can do that. But as long as you are controlling the amount of dressing that you're putting on it. I teach in my nonprofit to the kids. I say, hey, dip your fork in the dressing, then stab your salad, and then eat it, because you still get the dressing flavor. And it's amazing. You can have a container, like a side of dressing, and when you do it that way, you'll eat about half, maybe 2/3 of the dressing, whereas before, you probably would have dumped the whole thing on, maybe said, ooh, hey, I need some more dressing, and dumped another one on, because it gets lost in there. So that's a great way to do it, is dip the fork in it. And this way, also, you're controlling it. We're just putting it in the bottom. We're measuring it, and we know how much we've got. So we're going to start with that. We're going to go red onions as well. I'm going to grab my – oh, no, I'm not. I'm just going to do this by hand today. Yes, I wash my hands. I'm good and clean. Onions are a thing to taste. So however many you like, this is probably 1/3 of a cup or so is what we're going to put in here. Again, whatever you like. Now, this is grandma measuring. You know, by now I like grandma measuring. It's a little of this, it's a little of that. If we're baking something, you got to be on point and dialed in. When the way we're doing these other things, we're going to do it our way to our taste, how we like it. We're going to go hard-boiled eggs. I like the protein, so I'm usually going to add a little bit more egg. I'm not afraid of the cholesterol with this. We got this really cool little egg chopper. You can just cut them up, slice them up however you want to do it. My house is full of these cool little things like this. One slice through, it's like slicing bread. And look at that beautifully sliced egg. That bad boy is going in there. In total, it's going to lay right in there on the onions. Like a nice little bed. Oh, delicious. That took the longest of anything. 10 minutes to hard boil an egg. Super easy though. Eggs, we're going to go mushrooms. Okay, now again, this is all stuff that's either pre-sliced or pre-packed at the store also. Again, for convenience, these are whole pieces. If you like them this big, you're welcome to leave them that way. Or you can chop them. We're going to put a little chop on ours because these are ginormous. So we're going to at least cut them in half. Again, while you're chopping, watch your fingers. Again, quarter cup, half cup, probably half cup of the mushrooms. These are good for you, good for your digestion. Good in total. I'm not a huge mushroom fan, so typically I'm going to trim mine back a little bit, but these are big enough that if you've got somebody that you're sharing this with, you can pick them out if you have to. That's kind of how things go around here sometimes. Like you just make it and you pick out what you don't like, and that's just the way it goes. So we've got some mushrooms. Just throw one little guy in there for extra kick. So here we go. We got dressing. We got our onions. We got our eggs. We got our mushrooms. What else goes into this? Oh, bacon. Here's the flavor part. Okay, I just whipped up some bacon again. It took me like 10 minutes. It took me about the same amount of time to just whip up a little bit of bacon as it did to make the hard-boiled eggs. About 10 minutes for both. So we're going for the super fresh. I do like a little bit lower sodium, less nitrates on the bacon, make it as clean as possible. There's a couple stores around that do have the bacon this way. So try to add that. We get so much more sodium than we think we do. That's part of the heart disease problem in America is we're getting more sodium than we think. So about a quarter cup right here. I'm going to put that in. That was 3 little small pieces. Remember, bacon's just kind of a additive flavor thing. So this is not a bacon salad. It's putting it in to add some more flavor. There we go. The bacon is in. We've got everything on here. Now the good part. Spinach. Okay, we've talked about lettuce a few different times. The darker the lettuce, the more nutrient filled it is. If you're eating iceberg lettuce or some super light lettuce, it's not going to have a lot of nutrients in it. And really at that point, all it really does is it serves to hold whatever it is that you're putting in your salad. It keeps the dressing like glue and just puts everything on your fork and in your pie hole. The spinach, on the other hand, as you know, Popeye ate his spinach. What's he got? He got some guns. But spinach is full of nutrients. So check that out. This is a great one too. And spinach isn't a heavy flavor. So if you don't like the bitters, I don't care for the bitter leaf salads. You can use those, not use those. But the spinach is a great one. Lighter flavored. Mix is nice. You can use it raw, fresh, saute it. You can throw it in smoothies. You can sneak it by your kids in smoothies because they won't taste it. If you put a little bit in and it doesn't get too green and freak them out, you can sneak it in because the flavor is awesome. So here we go. So I've just jammed this thing full of spinach. I'm gonna put our lid on this one. This one has a little lines on. You could write the date on it that you made the salad. But check this out. Here's our salad. So is our spinach salad. We got a poppy seed dressing. We got a little bit of red onions down there floating around in the dressing. The eggs on fresh, hard-boiled egg on top of that. We got mushrooms, fresh chopped mushrooms on top of that. Fresh made, low sodium, low nitrate bacon on top of that. And then our giant amount of spinach on top of that. So now this is sealed up super good and tight. So I'm going to put this in the fridge till somebody grabs it and eats it. But you're basically ready to go. So tomorrow you think, oh my gosh, what am I having for lunch? Oh, I made the salad. So you're ready to roll. Okay, that's one salad down. We're going to put that one right there, not in front of everything. I'm learning as I go. Don't put everything in front of the camera. All right, I'm going to back that one up. We're going to go on to salad number 2. Okay, that was spinach salad. Now, if you're like our house, you love the Italian salads, the antipasta salad. This is one you got to watch for with the extra salty meats or the extra fatty items. Be aware of what you're eating and how much of it you are eating as well. So let's grab mason jar number 2. Get that one ready to roll. I'm going to switch out dressings here. We're going to go for the house Italian dressing. It's one of my favorites. I like the house. It's got a little bit extra creamy to it. Again, you can go to a light dressing. You can go to your favorite kind of Italian. You can make an Italian dressing if you're feeling that ambitious. I wasn't. Again, we're going for quick and convenient. So again, a couple of tablespoons of dressing is about your usual serving. And especially when we're going to put this much, and again, it's squeezed on me. So when we're putting this much lettuce in these things, we definitely want to have, enough to cover. I like enough to cover. And again, what you're going to do with the salad when you're ready to roll, I'll tell you that in a minute. All right, here we go. This one's going to be fun. We're constructing some fun stuff here. This again, okay, just tip to my buddy Guy Fieri. Again, Guy, if you're watching my show, call me. Tip to the hat. This is Flavor Town right here. This, because a lot of the ingredients that we're using are marinated in something tasty with Italian seasonings and herbs and things like that. So dressing in number one. Number two for this one, some tomatoes. I'm just going to go with the little mini. These are the package in your grocery store. They'll be in the vegetable section. So just a half dozen tomatoes or so are good here. Again, I am not a regular tomato fan. They do have their health properties. I just don't like them. But I will eat the julienne sun-dried tomatoes with herbs. This is money right here. So I'm going to throw a few of these in here in just a minute because that's what I like. I can work around these, give them to somebody else that's near me eating. So number two is tomatoes. Number three, we're going to go artichoke hearts. Oh, as we're knocking stuff over in the kitchen. Sorry, honey. All right, artichoke hearts. Again, marinated. So anything that's marinated also allows you to use less dressing because if all your veggies are flavored, they're spreading the marinade and the flavor to the other veggies and to the lettuce. So you need less dressing. It's a great thing. So keep that in mind. So don't think, I need as much or more dressing. Again, I'm going to chop these up a little bit. I like them a little bit smaller so they blend in a little bit. There we go. Scoop that up. When you're scooping, be sure to not stab yourself. That kind of ruins the salad making. All right, a little bit of artichokes for flavor. Gonna rinse on that one. That one was messy. All right, artichokes for flavor. Here we go. We got dressing, tomatoes. Number three, artichoke hearts. Number four. Ooh, this is a good one. Little mini mozzarella pearls. Now, you can get a regular block of mozzarella, kind of chop it and cube it, drop it into that way. Mozzarella is one of my favorite cheeses. We've had this discussion before if you watched the pizza episode. Digestibility, the mozzarella is an easier digestible cheese. So that's something that I like. Also goes good with everything, blends with just about everything. So I'm going to put, let's call it 4 or 5 of these in here just because they're tasty. So you get some decent protein. You are getting the fat. Because you have these are marinated and it's cheese. So you've got that in there. All right, there we go. Ooh, mozzarella balls, moving on. Ooh, olives. Olives are becoming one of my new favorites. Again, decent flavor. I go simple sliced black olives, nothing fancy. They add a nice little bit of flavor, and the olive oil has so many healthy properties for you. Heart health, heart, skin, joints. It's all the oils and such. It's the good oil. It's like olive oil. All right. So again, I'm going to go about a 1/4 cup of hand measuring here. Deliciousness. There we go. Olives are in. We're going to go from the olives, mozzarella balls, olives. Oh, number 6, red onions. Okay. So a little bit of offset to those. Again, we're going to go with a little hand scoop of the red onions, a couple of tablespoons worth. That should be just enough to flavor. Don't overpower your salad with onions. That kind of wrecks all the goodness of the other stuff. Again, a little bit for flavor. Okay, here we go. Here's the fun stuff. Here's the protein meaty part. Now we're going to put in here, I got some hard salami because, again, we're making kind of the Italian antipasto salad. So I'm going for the hard salami piece right here. Let's do a quick rinse here. Get that off of there. Like to keep my tools clean, my space more or less clean, make sure my handle's clean. Okay, here we go. So a few slices of the hard salami. Again, just cut as much as you want. I like the bigger pieces so I can kind of find them in there. There we go. Perfecto. There we go. All right, I'm going to break them up as I put them in. Just let them separate in there. Excellent. Salami. Yeah, the hard salami, again, a little bit better than some of the others, but salami's still salami. So don't overeat it. If you're watching your heart, you got some issues and things, keep it to a minimum. Again, I'm all about living, but also if you need to be paying attention to stuff for your health, I do. So I cannot eat a lot of this. I don't eat a lot of this. If I do, I make sure that I'm kicking in extra antioxidant foods, vegetables, and a little extra training for sure. Keep that heart pumping. All right, I'm not going to even use all that. I'm going to use what I got there. All right, I'm going to put in here also a low sodium, low nitrate, and ham as well. So we got that little ham and salami. Again, you can put in turkey, you can put in chicken, you can put in whatever kind of meat you like. It's an Italian salad. We went a little traditional with this one, but still the same rules apply if you're watching the fatty meats. This one's a little bit more on the lean side as well. So if you shop a little bit, you can find the hams that are more natural. You want to stay away from the processed stuff. Anything that's processed is basically going to kill you faster. Just think of it that way. It's kind of a harsh statement, but you know what? It's true. That's why our society now is heavier, more out of shape, more heart disease, because we eat a lot of processed foods, a lot of high sodium, processed fats. All of those things are not helping your body. So lower processing. If you happen to have a ham at home, if you happen to make one for something, anytime you can save some slices, throw them in the freezer, and then repurpose them for things like this. It's amazing that way. Again, because you're controlling your ingredients that way. You know what's in it. You know how it was cooked, all of those things. So anytime you can control it is always better. Okay, we're looking good. We got olives, salami, ham. Okay, now you can go pine nuts, no pine nuts. That's a little extra crunch if you like to do that. I don't have any at the moment, but I just as a side note, you can add crunchy things like that into the salad. You also notice that all the good things we got going on here, we're already getting halfway up this jar. Now here we go. It's romaine time. So like I said before, the darker lettuces are the better lettuces. So I stay away from the iceberg. I'm going to go strictly romaine on this one. I'm going to pack this one. Again, in the store makes this stuff. It's all pre-washed, pre-chopped. You can get chopped romaine. You can get leaf romaine, however you want to do it. But we're going to just pack this thing full now. This is the fun part. You pack them full. This is plenty of food for a sitting. You may or may not eat. Wow, I'm making a mess. You may or may not even eat all of this in one time. This is a pretty decent sized salad. It's going to be an antipasto. It is delicious. I cannot wait to eat this later. It's going to be good. You know me, I usually like to eat what I'm making, but I'm going to have to store these and come back later for these. So again, I packed it full. There's a lot of lettuce in here. Packed it full. All of the lettuce is in there with its friends. In here, put a nice good seal on this thing so it stays tight. Again, this is going to last 4, 5, 6 days. Our dressing's at the bottom, so it's down here, so it stays away from all the things we don't want it to make it soggy. So you bring a salad home, or you make a salad, you make it a dinner, you put some dressing on it. It's done. It's sad that you got to throw it away. I come from a family of don't throw your food away. So you're either eating the whole thing, or you're going to eat it the next day, like it or not. So with the salads, we don't do that anymore. So the dressing's all down there. It's down here actually marinating in with the cheese and the olives and the tomatoes. We forgot to put on here. I mentioned it and I totally forgot, and I'm putting them on the top. Sun-dried tomatoes. It's the money piece. Ooh, if I can get it open. There it is. There we go. So a little extra flavor will not hurt my lettuce. It's just going to sit right there on top because I want to have a couple just to enjoy. These are delicious. Almost forgot those. I knew I forgot something. There we go. I'm going to put them on top and close this thing back up. There we go. No harm, no foul right there. There we go. A little bit of those. Now you can add pepperoncinis in here. You can add, jalapenos. You can add anything if you want to spice this up. Any vegetables or really that you like to taste to add to this is fair game, fair play for you. But this is a really, really good salad. Super tasty, controlled ingredients like we talked about, and super on the go, simple for you and your family. So there you go. Today we just made 2 salads, and now we've been online here for about 20 minutes, but I'm talking and we're hanging out. But if I'm jamming through this thing, I got these done in 10 minutes, give or take. I cooked some of the ingredients, but even that, let's call it 20. but I could have made 3, 4, 5, 6 salads, depending on who I'm making them for and how I'm making them, but could have jammed through these things, made a bunch of them, and be ready to go. So today happens to be Monday or Wednesday if you're watching. But either way, you got salads for the next couple of days, salads for the weekend, salads for everybody. So if your wife likes this one, your husband likes this one, your kids like this one, doesn't matter. Everybody's got one and they're good to go. You controlled your ingredients. You know what they're eating. You're prepared. You are on track. That is a self-victory. We're all about the little victories. So you go and make these salads. Again, give us a comment. Let us know what kind of salad is your favorite. I saw some of the Pinterest, is a black hole of recipes. You can get lost in there forever. There's a lot of amazing things that they make with these mason jars. Now, if you have a favorite recipe, do let us know what it is. Give us a comment, send a request. I'd like to hear what your feedback is on this. Again, these are amazing. And as always, thank you guys for watching. So until next time, be fit, be strong, be empowered. Thanks for watching us on Living Empowered.